So I request Ms. Senthil to please stay back on the stage to give us some news in the headlight and some introductory information on the new normal fund admin. Gift City creating one, creating one stop shop for all the fund administration needs. Can we have a huge round of applause for Senthil sir? Everyone!
Good evening, all of you. I know it's going to be a tough time to stay last session of the day. So I'll just cover up the important parts because it's a very, very critical and important discussion. So the topic is new normal for fund admin. So today what is happening, the previous panelists all discussed about having one-stop shop. So you need to have a fund administrator who would do everything end to end. So is it relevant when it comes to Gift City? See, domestic funds, today what is happening is everything is managed on a siloed basis. You have a separate RTA, you have a fund accountant, you have a custody. So everything is managed by different entities. Whereas in Gift, that becomes much more difficult because both fund admin and Gift City, both are relatively newer concepts. So you need to identify the right fund administrator. And more importantly, the most important aspect is insourcing versus outsourcing. So Gift, there is some sort of substance requirement. So you might have a entity over there where you might have 2 employees or 3 employees based out of that. Would they be able to do the entire operational process end to end? The answer is no. So definitely you need to outsource certain activities. So that's where the role of the fund administrator come in. So this is something which we have been discussing in terms of growth of the alternate investment industry, both in terms of capital contributions and as well as the commitments which have been received. But if you see on the right-hand side, see the number of ultra HNI individuals who have been getting into alternatives has been significantly increasing. In 2016, if you see, it was 9% of the total family offices. Like family offices used to have more than 5% allocation into alternatives. This was only 9%. Now it is almost like close to 45% of the family offices allocate money to ultra HNIs, money to alternatives. So that being the case, so the number of HNIs are increasing and the number of funds are increasing. The opportunities also, people are looking at different multi-currency asset classes to be invested. So that being the case, definitely Gift is an option. And look at the number of funds which have already registered in Gift. It's almost 50 plus registrations have been completed and 60 plus registrations are on the pipeline. So almost as we speak, we have 110 funds which are lined up. So do we have administrators to service in Gift? That is the question. And more importantly, do they have the capabilities to service? What kind of things needs to be assessed while you are assessing the fund administration? So those are the aspects which I'll cover during today's presentation. So this is an interesting slide. There are about 52 lakh crores of FPI assets which are coming from different jurisdictions into India. These are all I'm talking about through India dedicated funds or directly FPIs. And look at on the right-hand side, on the right-hand side, if you see, these are the fund administrators. Globally, if you see, almost 80% is managed by fund administrators. And only 22% of the funds are self-administered funds. Whereas in India, it's completely opposite. Today, we have 1,000 odd alternatives. Roughly 400 odd alternatives are managed in-house, which is roughly around 40%. So despite costs being very, very low, so today if you go to a global fund administrator, the average cost would be somewhere for all the services, full suite fund administration could be anywhere between 11 to 13 basis points. Today, India, the cost is almost 1/3 of what the global players are charging, but still most of it is in-house and self-administered, whereas globally that is not the case. So this situation would change when you think of Gift as because you will not have the operation bandwidth because of the substance requirement. So you need to have an ideal fund administration. So these are the areas typically like we as KFin Tech. One second. I think the slides have changed. Anyway. Okay. So now, what is more important for Gift City? Okay, so what is so different? See, unlike domestic funds, you have a single strategy or you have a single currency. Whereas in Gift City, you will be operating in multiple jurisdictions. It could be an inbound fund or an outbound fund. It could be multi-asset classes, multi-currency, multi-strategy. So the strategies also could be wide range. It need not be a long-only fund or a credit fund. So it could range from long-short funds to global macro funds. Credit derivatives could be there. A lot of other exotic derivative instruments could be there already, like almost 11 funds which have gone live. Most of them are in the Cat 3 segment, and everybody is using exotic derivatives. So the fund administrator should have that capability to, and the platform wherewithal, to manage those kind of multi-currency. You need to do revaluation of assets, so periodic reporting, so and everything has to be systemized. You cannot do multi-currency functionality through an Excel sheet. It becomes very cumbersome. So the fund administrator should have this capability of handling multiple asset classes, multiple underlying assets, and more importantly, multi-currency and revaluation. So that is very, very critical. Most important aspect is in terms of the compliance. How is it different from the domestic? See, today, like most of the funds which are set up shop in Gift City are domestic funds, right? Today, in domestic, we follow the SEBI regulations. In Gift, almost, I would say, as we speak, 70 to 80% is very closer to SEBI regulation because IFAIS has not come with clear guidelines in terms of compliance. But as you can see, what we have done is we have segmented this into 3 different buckets. One is the ongoing compliance, second is event-based compliance, and the last one is, again, ongoing compliance based on recent circulars. So these are some things which we as a fund administrator perform. So I'll not dwell too much into the details of each of these things, but each one of these things are very unique to Gift City funds. So this is the full spectrum of fund administration which is being provided for Gift. So it's typically not only a back office function. So today what happens is most of the Gift funds, they are looking out for front office systems also. So it is not only the fund administrator role does not start in mid office and back office, it starts from front office, right from order management, compliance and limit monitoring. So everything is a part of the fund administration. Then comes your routine, your investor servicing, operations, then you have your fund accounting. All those aspects come at a later stage. Most important is the digital stack. So today, what is more important is like you have investors from overseas, or you're investing in overseas asset classes. So in that kind of situation, you need to have a LP analytics and GP analytics, which is slightly different from what has been offered in domestic markets. So I'll just show you a glimpse of what we do and what are the various aspects which are covered. So these are the broad spectrum which covers under the Gift City ambit. So it is not only related to your NAV computation or investor servicing. So it is starting from your compliance, reporting, regulatory reporting, and most important aspect in this is performance measurement. So when I talk about performance measurement, it is not about performance evaluation alone. It is about performance evaluation, performance measurement, and performance attribution. That becomes more important. Today, global clients do look out for attribution. How much of your returns have come from which asset class, whether it is because of fund manager's skill or is it because of luck. So all these things have to be reported to when you have an international LP coming in. So all these things have been a part of our product portfolio. So I'll just quickly cover this. Okay. So these are the various functions which we support. So when I talk about digital onboarding, it is not only for domestic, like even for foreign nationals, foreign institutions, it could be a foundation, endowment, or a pension fund, any kind of investors, like which is outbound. Definitely domestic, though it's anyway covered. So all kind of foreign nationals can be onboarded through the platform. And more importantly, it is not only onboarding right from the document checks and in terms of AML screening, PML verifications, all those things have been done. Now IFSC has come with more granular, earlier this OVD checks were not a part of IFSC regulation. In January, they have come up with this in-person verification and OVD checks also. So that also has been performed by us through various agencies across. So then you have your typical transfer agency and investor services, which is very akin to what we do on a day-to-day basis. And most importantly, like today, one of the panel people were talking about, like typically in India, there is no fund administrator who does the banking operations or vendor management. So in Gift City, what we are also additionally doing for a few of the funds is right from vendor management to operating the bank accounts. The modalities could vary from one fund house to other, but these processes which were not being offered by any of the fund administrators are being offered in Gift. Okay, so then the most important part is the fund accounting part. So fund accounting, as I mentioned, so there are a lot of bespoke things which have been, as I told you, certain outputs has to come from the platform for us to provide risk and return analytics. So all those things have been built in for Gift City funds. Okay. So this, I'll skip. So this is again very generic. Most of you would know what are the different transfer agency processes. Okay. So this is the solution which I was talking, the platforms which we use. It is not very confined to only your NAV computation. It starts from investment manager. So in terms of right from your portfolio setup, fund performance, conferring the asset classes, we currently are close to about 50 plus asset classes and sub-asset classes. And we cater to all kind of alternative funds, whether it's starting from a VC fund to a completely exotic long-short fund. So then we have pre-model portfolios, then dealing compliance module, then also in terms of checks and balances, in terms of limit monitoring, not only on the pre-trade level, but also on the post-trade levels, in terms of active breaches, passive breaches, all those things have been incorporated as a part of the dealing module. So then comes your core operations and the fund accounting. So they're like, again, slightly different from domestic. So we have also configured different reports, which I'll just show you. So these are the different modules which are there as a part of the platform. Okay. So these are the reports which are part of the, which comes out of the system. The first few reports, especially the financial report, holding reports, income reports, all these things are a part of fund accounting platform. What is most important is the last two reports. These are the reports which have been asked by most of the funds, especially in Gift. Okay. So if you see this, like in terms of investment reports, in terms of performance measurement, we just cover everything, right from your IRR, XIRR, or your rolling returns, point-to-point returns, or holding period returns. Any kind of returns is being taken care. So then comes your portfolio attribution. Portfolio attribution does not mean it's only return attribution. So it is both your return attribution and risk attribution are being covered. And not only the attribution, it also covers the contribution analysis. And in terms of how much percentage of contribution to each and every sectors, all those things are also part of the module which goes to the limited partners, and it can be consumed by the general partners also. And apart from that, the performance reports which we talk about are risk ratios, especially correlation, beta, standard deviation. There are umpteen number of ratios which can be covered. So it not only talks about the risk ratios, but also few of the return ratios which are being covered. So this is just quickly in terms of like not only the operation standpoint, but more on the tech stack what we have built also. I'll just show you. So these are various in terms of onboarding. We have just gone with the digital onboarding platform which I mentioned. It's like completely a digital flow with zero intervention. So we have tied up with multiple parties to do this. So for example, for World Check, we have tied up with Refinitiv, and for global funds in terms of onboarding, we have tied up with Swifty Pro. And there are various intermediaries, and it's not only for individuals or non-individuals, even if it's a power of attorney or if it is an NRI, foreign national, any kind of investors can be onboarded using this platform. So then transfer agency services, additionally what we have done is like entire reconciliation, whether it's a stock reconciliation, bank reconciliation, everything is automated using a platform called iMatch. So this is a complete automated system service. And moreover, back office support also is completely automated in terms of OCR, ICR, all those things have been incorporated. So this is again compliance, this one which I talked about. As far as the GIFT City is concerned, there are a lot of compliance checks which happens. And more importantly, fund accounting per se, like I just covered on different modules, it is not only fund accounting, it is end-to-end, like from order management till declaration of NAV. And the last one is the analytics which you have built around for LPs, GPs, onboarding. So it is across different kind of, we have also used big data. In fact, like morning Srikanth, when he was explaining, he also explained how we are using big data. Here, there is no big data. Even though the data is going to be small, today there is no unified platform or something for a LP, somebody who is investing. So we have created multiple platforms. So these are all ad hoc report platforms which we have created. So where multi-dimensional reports and analytics can be taken. Okay. So I'll just keep my presentation. Just any questions, more than happy to answer.
Senthil, this platform that you right now displayed is largely for the GIFT City, or it could be extended towards the domestic market as well?
See, it's a platform which is being used by asset managers precisely. When I talk about asset managers, it's largely used by institutional asset managers like your mutual funds, insurance, pension funds. Today, like even in pension funds, almost like 6 out of 8 pension fund managers use this. Alternatives right now, like close to about 100 odd funds where we are doing the fund accounting. We use this platform for alternatives because it's a very bespoke kind of a platform. And the requirements are also from alternatives is very bespoke. So since we own the platform, it becomes easy and fungible for us to custom make based on the client requirements. So it is used for alternatives. And since it's a multi-currency platform and multi-geography, because the same platform is used by in Southeast Asia, various funds use, in fact, we're using same platform for Canadian clients also. So it is very, very fungible. The same platform, we have just fine-tuned in terms of certain reports and other things which comes out of the platform specific to GIFT City. So otherwise, it's a platform is the same, but it's modularized to suit more of GIFT City clients' requirements.
Okay. Just one related question. So I heard somebody saying that KFin plans to have some 300 staff in GIFT City. So just wanted to understand your vision of GIFT City. Why such a large setup there?
See, currently we have very large international operations. So we have a large set of clients based out of Southeast Asia, especially Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong. And we have won few mandates in Canada as well. So that being the case, so we have a large set of operations which are based out of Hyderabad. So over a period of time, what we want to do is we wanted to move the global operations to GIFT City under the GIC construct, first. Secondly, what is happening is there is increased interest in terms of alternatives. See, right now we are operating under the ancillary services license in GIFT. So once we move to a GIC license, then the opportunities for us to offer multi-products, it could be a captive setup, it could be a third-party client advisory. All those things can be operated, not only specific to GIFT-based clients, it could be for any global clients can be operated. So that's the reason 300 is a very conservative number. We aim to even develop beyond that. Thank you. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Senthil, sir. It was an amazing to have you on the stage for the last and the foremost presentation. All right, so however, all the power sessions and all the finance guru has given all the gyan here. How was it? I want to know from the audience now, how is it? From the remaining ones, I mean. All right. So first of all, guys, nothing to worry about. Before we end this session, nothing is end, but it's a kind of new beginning for the future investment and for the great looking future ahead. Moreover, the more you earn and the more you learn, I believe in that. And not the least over here, we want to thank on the stage from the Equalify presents Kinfect for Indian Fund Admin Innovation Summit 2022. This is Karishma, your host, and those signing off for the day. Stay tuned. Love you all. Thank you so much for being a part of today. Thank you.